I didn't see much of anything because I was laying on the floor, and I couldn't really see a window. I saw a little bit of a window. I saw space out there with stars, but I didn't really see much until we got to the moon and disembarked.
And then what did you see?
Oddly enough, it's kind of, you know, like a military base, maybe not as sophisticated as bases on Earth, but it's the same ugly buildings. I thought, why do they put the same ugly buildings on there as they do on the ground?
So you saw some buildings.
Very utilitarian, yeah.
Okay. Did you see, and did you see, for example, well, saucers don't really need a runway per se, but did you see runway type
Yeah, there
places?
was like big landing areas, I would say that. And we were taken off, and then we were conducted to these buildings, and my memory isn't all that great because I kind of moved forward in the hypnosis to other things. I was worked very hard there. There was a lot more sexual abuse.
What do you mean you were worked hard? In what way were you worked?
It's one of the things I've learned about mind control procedures. If you keep someone exhausted, you don't feed them well, don't allow them, and they're sleep deprived, it helps with what they're trying to do to keep you from remembering too much. So I worked in some electronics equipment, not radar. It was a different kind of electronics, but they thought that my radar skill would translate over to using this other equipment. And it seemed like excavation equipment of some kind, but ultra-modern. And it used electromagnetism to excavate areas with big magnetic plates, electromagnetic plates. And so they were actually still building parts of the base.
So the idea was that you were brought to the moon to do this work?
Yeah.
Okay. And you worked there for a week?
Yeah. And then there was a lot of just lifting and hauling, you know, like stacking boxes here and moving stuff here, and just, you know, kind of manual labor type of stuff.
Really? And, okay. And just how many people were doing this kind of work?
There were several. There weren't too many people doing it. Didn't seem like there was crowds of people up there. Quite a few, but...
But working with you, were you working with the two people that you came with?
They had me working by myself a lot.
See.
They didn't really want me to work with other people because I might be tempted to talk to them. So they kept me pretty isolated.
Okay, and do you remember the beings that were on the moon that were in this, working in this, that you were working around, or
I saw only human beings.
Only human beings?
I saw only human beings.
Do you happen to know, were you on the dark side or the light side of the moon?
I would guess the dark side, but that's only a guess.
Okay.
And then at night, I wasn't allowed to sleep, and again, I was kind of passed around for more sex stuff. You know.
Okay, so do you have memories of your reaction, or did you ever misbehave or yell or try to get away or anything like that?
I was scared. It was kind of like dream walking, in a sense. It was like, well, I know this stuff is going to happen. I don't know what I can do about it. I have a little girl to go back home to that I need to make sure that I'm okay so that I go back home to my daughter. And so I was pretty compliant. You know, I just didn't want to do anything that would get me killed.
In the hypnosis where you're revisiting this experience, did you say you didn't dwell a long time on this?
No, we didn't dwell a long time on it. Again, it was obviously really upsetting. And so we touched on the experience, and then Gloria moved me into some other area.
Okay, and since then, have you revisited it with any other regression people?
I looked at it from a very different perspective with Mary Rodwell last year. And I'm sorry. Sometimes it catches up with me.
What the beings that you feel that is your race of ETs,
Yeah.
what they're like. What do
What
they
they're
look
like.
like? Are they humanoid? Do you know?
When I saw them on the ship, it was like lights moving around with a suggestion of a humanoid form in them. They were brilliant. You know, there was like white gold light everywhere, and there would be a golden light where they were, moving around. And when this commander, I don't know what else to call him, he was more like a father or an older brother, more than a commander, but commander, he was like in charge. He moved towards me, and he was like glided towards me. It wasn't like walking. He was gliding towards me, and I could see his form. And as he got close, I could see a human face in where the face should be. It was just the most incredibly loving being I've ever seen. You know, he was just amazing. And I could feel how much he loved me. And communicating with him, I would think a question, and before I even got the question finished, he had an answer. So it was, a telepathic, empathic kind of exchange.
That's very nice.
Yeah.